Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good. Hi guys, how are you? Again, as I always say, please ignore the background. I can't be on my. Hold on, let's just like get like bigger so we can like avoid the disgustingness in the background. Not you guys like watching me do this. Okay, cool. There. Now we look a bit more acceptable. You guys can not see my background constantly changing every 5 minutes. Hi guys, how are you? How's it going? Welcome back. You guys, last night's episode was so frustrating that I was like, we have to have a discussion. Like I gave like my 10-minute version, obviously, of like what I thought was going on, but I really want to have like an actual conversation about it because I'm so I was just furious. But after the end of that episode, I apologize if I'm speaking weird. I have a canker sore on my mouth, so I apologize for that. I'm just letting my husband know that I'm streaming. Okay, so let's talk about last night. I have so many thoughts. I have so many opinions. I have so many feelings. We're gonna go online and we're gonna look at a couple things too, and see kind of what like the consensus is online with how everybody's kind of feeling about the whole situation. I think the biggest thing I got from the whole thing was that I was really rooting for Sierra and Nick overall. Like mostly for I was mostly rooting for Sierra, not necessarily Nick. Because I really liked her and I felt like she was very genuine. I felt like she was very authentic and I thought that she had a very overall like a lot of maturity in the way that she approached a lot of conversations with people on the island. But I think we're at a point now where she is now trapped under the spell of Alandra and Shelly, and honestly, just Shelly in general. So I think we've lost the plot a little bit. Um, I'm very disappointed in their behavior last night. I'm very disappointed in the three women's behavior. I have a hard time with people picking one side over the other, whereas I feel like it's like there's a lot, you guys. Like two things can be correct at the same time. Like on one hand, I can say that, I don't think Huda is a girl's girl. And I don't think Huda has a lot of people's back at times. And I do think she's can be self centered and I do think she can be dramatic. But at the same time, though, I do think that the way that the girls treated her last night was not acceptable. I like two things could be at the same time. I think that Sierra, Alandria, and Shelly's excuse for why Hannah got voted off was BS. I didn't think it was a good excuse at all. I thought it was a BS excuse. I think that the again, I'm sure a lot of this was edited out. I'm sure there was a lot more said that we didn't get to see, obviously, because they can only put so much in. But I didn't like that Pepe didn't push it even more. I feel like he should have pushed it even more and been like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't really understand why those three women are allowed to have basically the same partner this entire show, but no one else is allowed to. I really don't understand that. I also don't understand why Shelly is allowed to gatekeep Islanders, but nobody else is. I just don't, there's a lot of logic that I'm not really understanding with those three, let alone the three guys. You know, there's just there's a lot of conversation. There's a lot of rebuttal from them that doesn't really make any sense to me. The Hannah logic makes no sense. The whole point of this show is to create connections. And if you find one, you should be able to move forward to that connection and get more and learn more. And if someone else comes in, it's it tests that connection. That's the whole point. It's like you find a connection, then you test it. You find it, you test it. Last night episode was irritating but necessary. Aylin, I do agree with that. I do think it was a necessary episode, but I felt also the other thing I didn't like is I didn't like that when that group of women and those three guys got pressed, they automatically went like feral on people and it distracted from the conversation of what needed to happen. Like with Ace when he called out Austin, and I don't like Austin. Okay. I don't like Austin. I've never liked Austin. You can look back. I've never liked that man. Okay. let alone his, thoughts on the internet. Just in general, I don't like Austin. Okay. He just reminds me of a lot of creepy guys I went to college with. He freaks me out. I don't like him. He doesn't make me feel the safest. Okay. Let's just go with that. And, but for Ace to get called out and for him to just go feral on Austin was ridiculous. And also, his logic behind his anger rage didn't make any fucking sense. It just didn't make any sense. None of what they're talking about makes any sense. What they're trying to do is they are treating this like a game show, like a competition show. They're not treating it like a love experiment essentially. They're treating it like a game show, and they're trying to get out people that they think could win the show. Hence why they got rid of Hannah and Pepe's relationship. Hence why they got rid of Hannah and Charlie's relationship, because those were strong connections that probably could have gone all the way. And also, those people are likable on their own and they're not competitive. And then you have him with the Jeremiah thing. He got rid of Jeremiah because Jeremiah had good connections and was likable, and women wanted to get to know him and liked him a lot. I don't see what's the problem. The only problem I see is that means it's one connection that was going to out trump your connection, therefore you could not win. I don't know what planet these people are on because they're about to find out. I'm hoping with the what was it? The stuff we did last night, the Jesus Christ, like the who's better than so and so, who's the best couple, who's the best guy on the island, like that whole thing, the survey thing. I'm hoping that with that, that will finally. I'm hoping the fans will get together and realize, like we'll finally be like, hey, let's like really tell these Islanders who's the best and who's the worst. Let's really get them to understand because they don't know. Like Ace, I think he thinks that he's on like America's on his side, and they're actually not. They're not on his side. They can't stand his ass. He's a joke at this point on the internet, and him and Shelly are unbelievably ridiculous at this point. Like it's so obvious. It's so bluntly obvious how they're moving about the island that there is no way in hell that they're going to win Love Island. It's not going to happen. They are not going to win Love Island. They nailed that coffin like a week ago. They're never going to win Love Island, and I want them to realize that because then maybe they'd act a little differently because they're not going to win. And at this point, Nick and Sierra are not going to win either. So it's like who's left? It's got like Huda and Chris. And then I was hoping for Amaya and Zach, but clearly Zach is a dink and decided to be an a-hole. And thank God for Brian for stating the literal obvious. I was like, are we all not gonna just like are we just not gonna say what's obvious here? Is that this is her culture. Like this is the culture. Like people of like Latinos are vibrant and they're outgoing and they're just full of life, and it's like I can't tell you how many women I've met that are of that culture that are just so loving and outgoing and loud and fun and want to be happy and like they're some of the nicest, most fun, outspoken people. And I just don't understand how like you don't grasp that. Like and I'm like, thank you, Brian, for stating the fucking obvious, which is that this is her culture. This is how they like this is how she is. Who cares? You want her to be an a-hole? Like, what do you want from this girl? And I love that he was like, you got to meet her halfway too. You want her to meet you halfway? You weren't meeting her halfway, Ace. Get the F out of here. You weren't meeting her halfway. You weren't meeting her anyway. You wanted to have it your way, and that was it. And at the end of the day, you didn't even want to date her anyway. You wanted to be with Shelly. And you don't even have, you sitting over here saying that you have the balls, you have the balls, you have the balls. You don't have the balls to look Shelly in the eye and say you want to be closed off. Look at her in the eye and say, Shelly, I want to be closed off. Where's that conversation? Mr. Big Balls, Mr. 5'10 my ass. Where's that conversation? You don't want to have that conversation because you don't want to get rejected. Because God forbid, Ace, the best guy that's ever existed on the planet, the hot stud, the one that always has the girl, God forbid he gets rejected. He specifically goes after women that he knows he can reject. So he doesn't have to play that game. And Shelly's the only one that he can't play that game with, and he does not like that. And then Shelly's over here also playing games. Because I'm sorry, she literally sat in the beauty room with Huda. Huda was very blunt and said right to her face, there's video footage. Like some of you like fans out there and some of like the internet people and some of like the villa people, y'all forget they're on camera and that we can see you 24/7. Like, girl, you said it on camera to Huda that you were totally fine with her bringing Chris back and her and Chris exploring a connection because she knew that Shelly and Chris were exploring a connection. So it was like, oh, everybody wins. It's not a big deal. Meanwhile, what Shelly thought was going to happen, because God forbid Huda gets anybody, what Shelly thought was going to happen was that Chris wasn't going to be into Huda, that Chris was going to be into her, and that Chris was going to put all the effort in. And it's like, well, honey, you can't ignore, you're ignoring him too, though. You're also ignoring him. You're not going up to him, you're hanging out with Ace because you like Ace more. What is so wrong? Like, I really need Shelly and Ace to just stop the crap. You two like each other. You want to be together. You want to be closed off. Just be closed off. Does Shelly need attention? Like, what is the issue? Like, why are we like she did this with Austin too, where she just strung Austin along, didn't kiss him, didn't do anything outside of the challenges. Once she spent time with him, it was like they were just like buddies and pals. And then all of a sudden she was like, I'm into Ace. And it's like, we all know you're into Ace. Stop. And I don't even like Austin. But you strung that man along for multiple episodes, which took away from his chances and him wanting to go see other people because he was trying to invest into you. So I don't really understand what Shelly's problem is. Pick Ace, choose Ace, love Ace, okay? Just stick with that, stick with him. What is the problem? I don't understand what the issue is with that. It's so weird to me. The two of them are trying to run the villa and it's exhausting to watch. Say and add to the conversation as much as you want. So, Alandria, what makes me upset and makes me so mad about Alandria is do not sit there and play the girls girl bullshit card. I can't stand that crap. The girls girl comments make me so angry because none of you are girls. Not one of you except for Amaya. None of you are girls. You're full of garbage. And Alandria, out of everybody, you are the farthest from a girl's girl, okay? Because you did not just do a little with Nick, little with Nick. No, roll that beautiful bean footage, okay? Because you made out with him, let him grab your ass, you sucked his lip off, stuck your tongue down his throat in soul ties. How is that a girl's girl? When you know how Sierra feels about him, when you know Sierra had a really hard time with Elin because she really kept thinking about Nick all the time, you knew that. And you could have explored that connection, which was BS, but it was all produced by the producers, which is stupid. But you could have explored that without full blown groping each other. I'm not really sure why that needed to happen. Also, how about we talk about when you guys finally met up on that little table in the middle of the friggin' woods? How you guys were holding hands the entire conversation, okay? Nick kissed your hands, told you were the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, told you he's always wanted to see about a connection with you, but never felt he could do that because of Taylor and Sierra, blah, 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 F and blah. So I'm sorry. That doesn't mean I don't like Alandria. It doesn't mean I think she's the worst. It doesn't mean send hate to Alandria. That doesn't mean anything. Two things can exist at the same time. I can be pissed off and annoyed by somebody, but also like them. And I do like Alandria. But I also think the girls girl BS is BS. S to the maximum. Because what you're upset about does not equate to what Huda is doing when it involves Chris. The Chris situation has nothing to do with why you're mad at her. That is completely separate. She didn't do anything wrong in the Chris department. That, in my opinion, there's lots of things Huda has done wrong. A lot. We can clock about a million things this girl's done wrong, okay? She's not very likable. She's a pain in the butt, okay? We get it. Everybody gets it. Leave her alone. She doesn't deserve the world of hate that I'm sure she's going to get when she walks out of the villa. Whatever, okay? Here's the thing though. When it involves the Chris situation, specifically that one situation, that to me is a crock of crap that you're upset about. I think the Chris conversation is a load of BS, does not equate to Shelly being angry and for the girls calling her ass out. Now, if you want to talk about the Ace situation, I can get behind that. I can get behind that you did too much. You did too much. I can get behind that. Even Sierra said, you guys clearly did not have a conversation beforehand on the do's and don'ts and the boundaries that you guys had going into that. Because clearly, Sierra and Nick did have a conversation. And they made it very clear. And it looked like to me that Sierra probably had a conversation with the other girls because notice how none of the girls kissed Nick. Almost none of the girls went to go kiss Nick. And I think that was her setting a boundary of like, this is my person. I don't want to see this. If none of you guys are interested in him, please leave him alone. And they all followed through. Shelly doesn't do that. Shelly doesn't do that. Her and Ace both love to play the flip-flop card. They love to play the flip-flop card and they love to go back and forth of we're open, but there's boundaries, but we're open, but there's boundaries, but we're open, but there's boundaries. It's interesting how when you were with Austin, it was easy to do the boundary game because it was like, clearly you don't like Austin, but with Chris, clearly you do like Chris. And clearly if Chris put the moves on you, I think you'd be very reciprocated to that. Hence why you went back 2 times. You want to be upset with Huda and how she handled that situation. I get it. I could get behind that. I can live with that argument. Okay. I don't like it, but I can at least live with it. Okay. But you're not gonna get mad at Ace or mad at yourself for your little BS games that you love to play and how you embarrassed Ace by sucking on Chris 2 times, going back for more. I'm sorry, you did that. You did do that. That to me is disrespectful. If you and Ace are trying to have this thing back and forth, I'm happy that Chris likes Huda. I'm sorry, I am. God forbid somebody doesn't like those 3 girls in this goddamn house. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over the gatekeeping. I'm over they make the rules. They tell people what to do. And the villa knows it too. It's not just us, you guys. It's not just us. The villa knows it too. Austin brought it up. The Islanders that have come off the island, they've all brought it up. This is not like a made up thing. And I know people want to put race into it. And I understand that and I get that. And that's why I very, very, very much so try so hard to filter my language and how I speak about these women because they are all women of color and they don't deserve the hatred that I know they're going to get and they're getting right now online. The amount of vile anger and the vile BS that is not like compartmentalized is like wild to me. It's like there's the difference between like criticism, which I feel like we're having right now of like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And their actions. And then you just being pissed because you're an asshole. Like they're like that part, you get out of here. If you're going to be a fan of these shows and you're going to be a racist, well, that's a whole different conversation. Okay. And I choose very lightly to not call these women angry, to not call these women aggressive. I try very hard not to do that because there's such a bad stigma between dark skinned women and them being the angry Black woman and all that stuff, and I don't want to do that to people. And the same thing goes honestly for the other women too that are of color. I don't want to put that out for them. Okay. And that's not what's going on. What's going on is there's a lot of doubling down on things that don't make any sense, and there's a lot of switching the goalposts every 5 seconds, and it's getting to be excruciating to watch. It's not, I want one episode that does not include those 6 Islanders. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care what Taylor's doing. I don't care what Ace and Shelly are doing. I don't care what Sierra and Nick and Alandria are doing. I don't care anymore because it's all a bunch of crap. It's not real. Let's watch the other Islanders and see if they can try to make a relationship and see what they can do. Because at the end of the day, those six are not, none of those six are winning. Not any of them are going to win. The fan base clearly is not going to let that happen. If anything, they're going to try to get Amaya to win this whole entire thing somehow, some way. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. Um, I think I really do like Chris and Huda a lot. I think Chris is exactly what Huda needs. I think he's a nice balance of soft and kind and understanding and listens very, very well. But I think he is also, I think he is also hold on, I'm just making sure I have a chat up here. Or chat box. Chat box. I don't have a chat box up here. Box, Twitch, old school, chunky, clean. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Now we can see the chat box over here, so you guys can see what you guys are saying as well. There we go. That's better. Um, I what was I saying? Chris and Huda. I like Chris and Huda because I think Chris is exactly what Huda needs. I think Chris is the thing that was different between Chris and Jeremiah is they're both clearly very emotionally intelligent men, which is awesome and great, and I love that. Clearly they have a good amount of emotional intelligence. I think the thing that lacks with Jeremiah is Jeremiah doesn't really know how to be a little bit more assertive and set his own boundaries and have those types of conversations and kind of like really put up like, no, I'm not dealing with this, or no, that's not what that's about, or like, no, like he wants to just be this gentle, kind man. And it's like, you can still be that while still being like, no, we're not doing this. And I feel like Chris has this vibe, and maybe it's just because his like stature, because he's so goddamn huge. I feel like Chris just has this vibe about him of like, let's be silly, let's have fun, let's jive, let's do this thing. But also, he gives off the energy of like, stop being messy. We're not doing this right now. And he's so supportive of her, and I don't know, they just gel really, really well. I really like them together. Also, I'm not gonna lie, Huda gives wag vibes. She gives like hair done, nails did, showing up to the ball game, being so proud of my man. Like she gives off that vibe for sure, and I love that for her. So not that he's like a super like NBA player or anything, but and I love that he stood up there and was like, I'm not here for the money. I could be going and playing overseas and making more money. Kiss my ass. Like, no. I love that. I love that the Casa Amor guys were the ones that were actually standing up and saying things. I love that they defended Huda with like, yeah, she actually did come and talk to us. She did try to have conversations with all of us. She didn't just get tunnel vision like she did with Jeremiah. I love that they all stood up for her, except for Zach. Zach can kiss my ass right now. But I love that they all did that. I thought that was amazing and wonderful. Um, I just think that the original Villa guys are just trash at this point. And I don't enjoy watching them. I don't want to see it. What I want to see on movie night is I want to see Sierra have a little bit of an eye opening moment because Iris tried, you guys. Iris tried. Okay. She tried, you guys. She tried. She was like, girl, you were, he was inside you. Like, hello? Like, hello? Like, come on now. And Iris tried, but clearly that's like, I'm interested to see what happens on movie night because they have to show that Nick and Alandria shit. Because they told Sierra, at least from what we see on the TV, they just were like, yeah, we kiss. And it was like, no, no, you did not just kiss. You were dry humping each other. Like, let's be for real right now. And you were talking very, very highly and romantically. And Nicholas's face was like, I have a theory, and my husband doesn't agree with me, but I'm going to stand 10 toes down on this. In my opinion, I think if Alandria would have been like, yeah, Nick, let's like try this out. Let's like really go for this. And when Sierra and Taylor come back, we're going to choose each other. I think he would have chosen Landria. I just think he would have chosen Landria. I feel like when they had that conversation, it felt to me when they were like, "Oh, I'm so glad we're on the same page and like we kissed each other and we actually don't feel that way about each other." Blah 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 blah. Love that, great. But the vibe I got was like Nick was kind of like doing it to kind of like avoid being embarrassed by Alandria, whereas Alandria was like, "Yeah, totally. Like I'm obsessed with Taylor," which I don't know why. I don't know why she's obsessed with Taylor. Taylor doesn't like her. Taylor doesn't like her like that. Taylor never liked her like that. Taylor liked her as a confidant, as a friend, and as, in my opinion, a way to stay on the island until he found somebody better. And he never found anybody better. He never found anybody that he enjoyed. And then all of a sudden, Clark showed up and he was like, huh, I think this is my out now. I think I can finally get my out. And that's what I felt like happened. If Nick ever gets the chance, he for sure will pick Alandria over Sierra. Yeah, I think so too. I really think so too. That's just my I don't know, that's just my opinion. I think at the end of the day, he would have chosen Landra over Sierra in a heartbeat. And he just avoided it because he got the vibe that she wasn't feeling the same way because she's more into friggin' Gumby over there. Taylor, I can't with him. I will say this. I was proud of her for cussing him out. I was like, thank you. Stand on it. And can somebody please cuss these men out? I'm begging you. I'm begging you. And the fact that Amaya is the only one that has enough balls to stand up there and cuss every single one of them out and tell them the business and hold their feet to the fire. And they're sitting like, no, no, girl, no, no, girl. Excuse me, why don't you stand up and say something for her? Stop sitting there and be like, yeah, 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 How about, wow, they're being assholes? You turn to them and tell them no and say, cut it out. That's not what that's about. No, that never happened. No, that's not what it is. Nope. Nope. You guys just sit there with your little smirks on your face, which really pisses me off. And again, that could also, people don't realize those smiles might not have actually happened when those things happened. Like, that's called editing, you guys. And we all have to, like, wake up to that too. Like, it looked like they were smiling, but it's like, sometimes I wish we had, like, a big pan camera up at all times so that way we could really see what the real reactions were of these people. Because that smile that Sierra gave that I thought was very inappropriate and totally off base, that might not have actually happened when that moment happened. And we all have to realize that, myself included. I'm just very much just like, man, oh man. I don't like this group at all. There are many fakers in this villa, too many bosses up in this place. I agree with you, Fire and Flame. I agree with you completely. The thing that I saw this on TikTok, and I was like, oh my god, this is so true. The difference between the girls are the most likable, I guess you could say, out of the villa versus the guys. The guys are just trash. But overall, the reason why the girls are so rough this season is because the girls last season were not pick me's. The girls could care less if you liked them. The girls wanted to be together. They supported each other. They were always there for each other. They hardly ever fought with each other. And when they did, they found ways to forgive each other and support each other. They never stood up for the guys over the girls. They were always there for each other and they loved each other and they could care less if these men liked them. Okay? What did Sierra say? You can lay in your bed and hump in your bed or whatever. She doesn't care. None of those girls cared. And that was authentic because it meant that the guys that liked them really liked them and genuinely felt connections with them because they didn't need any of these men. They were on the journey and they were like Leah talks about it all the time. She's like, yeah, I went on the show and hoped I found love, but I didn't think I would. And now here I am with Miguel. Girl, I know a lot of people that wish that was their luck. A lot of people be wishing that that Miguel was their luck, let me tell you right now. The three amigos and Mean Girls. Yeah, I just like, and there's no need for it. I don't get it. Like, it's a lot of try hard stuff. And I feel like what's happening is the girls are giving pick me energy. And the problem with that is that these girls clearly are smarter, are better, are just overall better women overall and higher scale than what these men deserve. But for whatever reason, they are like begging for all of their attention. And I don't understand it. And what ends up happening is you get treated like crap. You get treated like crap. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm never gonna understand it. They're going after men that don't deserve their that in the real world don't deserve their time and energy in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. Like, give me an actual break. Okay. Plus, it doesn't help that, and I've talked about this before. It doesn't help that the the bombshells that have been showing up are not bombing and shelling. You know what I'm saying? They're they're not Miguel. That's not giving Miguel. I'm just saying. Um, I would be a lot more happier for a couple other couples if I didn't know who these people were in the real world. Like TJ allegedly is a follower and retweeter of Mr. Andrew Tate. And that is a massive red flag to me, like a scary red flag to me. This man is like, this man had to be like extradited to another country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hello. Like, that's a red flag. Uh, Elon, why is he even there? I don't understand why he's even there. I'm just like, what are we doing? Alandria's not going to find another person. She's not going to get another couple. She doesn't need to be there anymore. She shouldn't have been there in the first place. They should have just let Coco be there. I don't really understand that in any way, shape, or form. That was always very confusing to me. Um, so I don't know. I don't know, you guys. This cast is a little bit insufferable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna eat some popcorn. Hold on. I'm gonna get another water too. Hold, please. I'm gonna get another water. Hiya. Hey there. Um, yeah, I'm at a loss for words with this group at this point. Like I don't know how the end of the season's gonna happen, guys. I don't know what you guys think. Comment, let me know. What the hell are we gonna do at the end of the season? And then also, okay, you guys tell me, okay, because my husband's watched the show with me for the first time, and I love when my husband watches shows with me because I love his commentary. It's so funny to me how he like goes about stuff and he giggles over the funniest things. It's really cute. And I love my husband. Annoying. But I couldn't remember because last season was the first season I ever watched of Love Island. So you guys tell me, at the end, how does it work again? Do they have to be a couple at the end to win, or could they be a single person? Because obviously, I know at the end they they win, like the couple. Popcorn in my mouth. They win, right? Sierra and what's his face won last year, and then they had the option of splitting the money or not. How does that all work? Because I just feel like this season is the season where we're not going to win the whole thing. Huda broke up with who? I just want to know, like, who's gonna end this season? Like, who's gonna be at the end of this season? Because I was telling my husband, I was like, the the choices that we did on the Love Island app, um, like clearly they did that. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. Good. My son's having a good day at summer camp. They broke up Huda and Jeremiah out of jealousy and competition. Yeah, I think that this whole like survey that we took on the Love Island app, I'm very interested to see because like I told my husband, I was like, they're obviously doing this in order to another like America's choice of who's going to get voted out. My thing is I'm tired of the Islanders getting to vote. I'm not going to lie. I don't want the Islanders to. No, we're going to vote. We're going to vote who gets out. I'm over it. I don't like this. These are the bottom three. The Islanders have to choose who gets to leave. Nope, I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't care anymore. I want the bottom three to be Ace, Nick, and Taylor. And then let's have a real conversation. And then the bottom three can be Sierra, Alandria, and Shelly. And we can have a real conversation about how you guys need a reality check. I'm trying to see who's next. I was trying to look and see if there was. It's not gonna let me show you guys who I voted for. That's okay. I was trying to look and see who I voted for everything that was on there. I think for the best guy and girl, I think just to piss off Shelly and Ace, I'm pretty sure I put Chris and Huda. I was like, whatever. Everything in those surveys, I put Aces last. Every single one of them. I was like, screw you. I'm over you. You're annoying. I can't stand you anymore. And just because you scream the loudest and yell the loudest doesn't mean you're right. That's the thing that pissed me off the most too. Is just because you're screaming and yelling and talking over people and telling people to shut up and all this stuff, it doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't mean you're right. And that's what he was trying to do. And then the way they treated Amaya was so unacceptable and so fucking ridiculous and so not needed and was just mean. It was just mean. And it's like, okay, girls, so now that you've seen how mean your men are, do you want to still be with them? Do you want to still be with them? Because after that conversation, first of all, number one, I would have stuck up for Amaya. Number one, I would have stuck up for her and been like, no, you guys need to shut your mouth. We're not doing this. Number two, I I don't know. I would have defended her more in front. Like that was the thing that was really making me upset is I didn't like that there was no defending out loud. It was a lot of like sitting there being like, "Ooh, whoa, hey, ooh." There wasn't a lot of defending out loud. I mean, the people that were defending, I was kind of shocked by. Like I was shocked that Brian and Chris spoke up so much. I was proud of them. I was like, "Good for you guys." And you can tell when they all separate with each other. You can tell that the new class of guys and the original guys, they do not mix. They're not buddies. They're not pals. Same with the girls. Same with the girls. Usually the public votes on the app and the favorite of the final four wins. The excuses they gave for breaking up Jeremiah and Adrina, the new bombshell, was that he was repeating the same thing he did with Huda, which is bullshit because he was doing that, doing what they advised him. 100%. You, you, you sit there and you say you want them to end their toxic cycle. He ends the toxic cycle, and then you say you don't agree with him about ending the toxic cycle and you don't support them and you give him shit for it. And then he moves on with another girl and you say that he's love bombing. And then he had three different girls in the villa, might I add. Okay. It wasn't, people want to forget the Iris part in the center there. It's like, no, he moved on from Huda to Adrina and that was it. He love bombed them. Do you know what the definition of love bombing is? Look it up. Look it up in the dictionary, boy. Because let me tell you right now, it ain't what Jeremiah's doing. I think another issue that a lot of men have, not to like stand on a high horse here and be like men are evil, men are the worst, because they are. Men that are garbage humans don't know what to do when they see a man that isn't a garbage human that's getting multiple women. They don't know what to do. They're like, wait a minute, you're being kind and nice and you're getting all the girls? Something's not right. I don't understand this. Alpha man. And that's what the vibe I was getting. It was like, okay, maybe instead of trying to do this alpha male thing that you're doing, which is disgusting, annoying, and making you look like an idiot, why don't you instead maybe take a page out of his book and try to engage with these women in a kind, nice way. Again, Ace, you want to stand up there and be like, I'm 5'10, big balls. Look Shelly in the face, look her in the face and say you want to be closed off. Look her in the face and say you want to be closed off. I dare you. My bottom three were Ace, Austin, and TJ every single time. Yeah, TJ I kind of put in the middle of the road for the most part because I really just wanted to put the three guys at the bottom so badly because they're just garbage people at this point. I can't stand them. They kept Huda because it was part of their gameplay, but it backfired. Oh, it backfired bad. It backfired bad because they didn't think that she was going to get her shit together. They thought that she was just going to be a cuckoo for Cocoa Puff little girl and act crazy and, add insult to injury, and she didn't. I heard a rumor that after her little crash out there, that producers had the psychiatrists, therapists, whatever the hell they're called, whatever they call their people there, come and have a conversation with her and basically try to figure out if she could like move on and behave and not, be so much and like calm herself down a little bit. And you can tell that she's definitely calmed down a lot. You guys, she went through that entire thing, that entire letter thing last night without cussing the absolute crap out of anybody. I was shocked. I was like, I'm shocked she didn't tell everybody to go themselves. I couldn't believe it. Um, Ace of Snake went there with a plan, agenda. He wants attention, fame, and money, clearly, which cracks me up because I'm like, guy, they saw what happened last season, but what they don't understand is why everything happened last season happened is because they were authentic, real. They were authentic and real and being themselves and being vulnerable. Okay, and they're not doing that. Okay, let's not. Okay, mommy dearest, let's not call people lying pieces of shit. Except for the men, you can call the men that. And Jeremiah didn't want anything to do with her, so no one but Huda caused them to break up. No, I agree with that. I agree with she's the reason why they broke up. I just don't like that Jeremiah got voted off because of all that BS. I love that Huda and Chris are talking and voting for them. Yeah, they should have got rid of Huda instead of Hannah to begin with. They didn't make sense to me. Yeah, definitely. They definitely should have gotten rid of Huda. They should have gotten rid of Huda by now. They should, and I love Amaya, but they should have gotten rid of Amaya by now. Um, yeah, there's a lot of people that should still be there that aren't over Huda. I do agree with that. And I don't understand why Nick needed to like reiterate that. I was like, why did you that's what you did with your letter? That's what you had to talk about? You had to say that? That part was like, what? Huh? What are you talking like why bring that up? We already know that. Especially after you brought Huda to the docks to what? Like to love bomb her? That part I just didn't understand. I was like, okay, what do we have to do there? Okay, I can't sit there and wait forever. Pain in my butt. Um, yeah, I just don't. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on. Ew, not me gleeking. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on, and I'm kind of over it, and I don't really want to watch it anymore because the justification for the behaviors don't make any sense. They don't make any sense. I'm over it. Like you guys, it's too much. It's just like movie night is going to be rough. Movie night is going to be torture for this group. Torture for this group. For the evil six. It's going to be really really bad for them because they don't realize how they don't understand how bad they come off. I am really glad yeah, now can you imagine the villa after last night's episode? I if I was Huda and Chris, I would just be like la 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 la. Like I would just go to sleep and I'd be like, let them fight each other. Let them go crazy together and lose their minds. And I would be over here sweet and kind and nice. Like just take your big giant hunk of a man and just hide underneath him. You don't need to be involved in it. Hannah was competition, which is why they got rid of her. I agree. It's not Huda's fault. Remember who voted her out. I think that they voted Hannah out because they knew Hannah and Pepe's connection was so good and that they could win. That's the thing, is like they're trying to win a competition. This isn't a competition show. It's a dating show. And they knew that if Hannah stayed, Hannah and Pepe had an amazing connection. They would get closed off, and then they would win the whole thing. That's why. That's their strategy behind doing all of this. They're voting people off that they think will win at the end. That's what they're doing. There's no other science behind it. Because why are you guys not really committing to the process at all? Like Nick and Sierra, what the hell have they done? They've only been basically the two of them most of this time. Ace and Shelly, only been the two of them most of the time. Okay, not really allowing others to come in and to participate and be a part of all of this. Taylor and Alandria, not really open to other connections, haven't really opened up that much to other people. What the hell is the difference? I just don't. The hypocrisy is wild to me. Wild to me. Wild. But then Hannah gets a good connection, and all of a sudden, nope, we can't. You can't do that. You have to suck faces of everybody on the island. Okay, you do it too then. Kiss Austin. Kiss Austin outside of a challenge. I dare you, Shelly. I dare you. Yeah, because Pepe and Hannah were genuine people. That's the part that there's authenticity in a lot of these other people that they aren't having. I'm sorry for the neck cracking, but my neck's killing me right now. I'm also starving. I need to eat something. Want to be in the top three, which is why the Three Stooges, Nick, Ace, and Taylor have a plan and are friends. Yeah, there's like a plot. And now here's the thing, Taylor has stepped outside of that plot, which I find fascinating with Clark. And you can tell he really likes Clark because he acts completely different. And one thing that he said that I found very interesting that he talked about is that when he's talking to Alandra, it's like he's talking to like a mom or like his parent. But when he's talking to Clark, it's like he's talking to like his equal and his person. And, you know, him saying like, I feel like a kid again. Alandra would be like, how old are you again? And it's like, you're not allowed to. I'm sorry. I want to feel like a kid when I'm with my partner. And I'm not trying to take Taylor's side because in this whole situation, I think Taylor was the bad guy in the Alandria Taylor BS. Okay, but what I will say is that I do want to feel like a kid with my partner. I do want to feel that kid like love and romance and fun and silliness. I want that. Life is serious. We need people in our lives to be silly and fun with us and make us happy and giggle and have a childlike spirit. So to make him feel like shit for that, I was like, Alandria, stop, girl. Also, stop trying to get this man in any way, shape, or form. Don't even breathe the same oxygen as him. It's a waste of breath, dude. Alandria made herself look desperate for too long, waiting for that childish boy to like her. Yeah, I just don't understand. He is so beneath her. It's exhausting to watch. So exhausting. I would have much rather seen Nick and Alandria. Not that I think it would have been a great ending to the whole situation, but who knows? But the guys wanted to force Taylor to hook up with Alandria, but he wasn't feeling her. Peer pressure is what he was feeling. Yeah, probably. The comment, how old are you, bit her in the butt anyways, because why are you chasing a man child? Yeah. You're calling him a child, but you're the one that won't even attempt to pay attention to anybody else on this island. Which is why I don't, again, the logic of, oh, we want to have people that are going to like find and look and try to find other people. Why you voted Hannah off? Then why the hell is Alandria here? Because she only cares about Taylor and has not explored another human being except for one person. Like I don't get the logic. There is no logic. There is no logic to what you are saying. It does not make sense. And I wish that Pepe would have pressured Sierra more and the girls more on the Hannah conversation. I just wish that there would have been more pushback on that because Sierra was feeding a bunch of BS. I don't understand. I'm eating popcorn. Hold on. Jalissa, I agree with you. I think what should have happened. Sorry. Jalissa, I agree with you. I think what should have happened was when they all came back to the villa and they had, wow, every time I drink this, I spit everywhere. It's disgusting. When they had to pick between the three guys and the three girls, I felt like Alandria should have looked at all of them and said, do not choose me. Do not pick me. Pick one of these other girls. I'm not going to find another person here. I'm not going to find another connection. Just let it go. Let it be. Did she do that? No, of course she didn't do that. Should she have done that? Yeah. They're not understanding the Taylor hate because I think well the reason why I don't like Taylor is one, he's a little minion. I don't that's one reason why I don't like him. And two, the second reason why I don't like him is that I felt like he was not honest and authentic and real with Alandria when he had every opportunity before Clark even showed up to just admit, like Pepe. Pepe being honest with Adrena was respectful, was kind, didn't lead her on, and was just like, no, I'm all set. Same thing with what's her face, the new girl that I don't even know her name because she's barely on the screen. Same thing. And you could tell last night he wanted to be like, we're not having this conversation right now in front of everybody. I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you about it later. But it's the same thing. You don't want to lead people on. And that's what I felt like Taylor did. I felt like Taylor kept leading Alandria on and making her think because he didn't want to get eliminated. He didn't want to get taken out because then he wouldn't have a person. God forbid you try to look at a different connection. I don't think you can be single and win, but then again, that's never happened. Sierra thinks she's the sponsor person for the Mean Girl group. I don't like her smirky face towards Huda. Has anyone noticed that? Yeah, and I said Fire and Flame, like, there obviously is a chance that they edit it that way, that she actually wasn't smiling when that happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wish we had like a big pan shot so I could actually see what their actual authentic reactions are. Because I don't trust the producers. Obviously, look at this show. Why would I trust the producers and their crappy decisions they've already made? Um, but yeah, I don't like that the three of them look like they're getting like the guys like they're getting joy out of being nasty. That's what I don't like. Would probably win if they did. I mean, if there's a way for Amaya to win, I vote Amaya. Let the girl win. Cause screw all of you haters, okay, on the show. Screw all of you. Let this girl win. That's what I hope. I just want Amaya to win. Like, can we can we just make that happen? Can we make that happen? I would love that. Is that a possibility? Will that happen? Probably not. Oh, I know, as I was looking up the weather. Retailers and some of them have great tips for help. Oh, okay. You guys, I'm going on medication soon. I found out that I have PCOS. Woohoo! PCOS girls unite. PCOS girls, where my PCOS girls at? I'm going on medications. It's so exciting. I'm gonna be one of the Ozempic girls. Um, but yeah, that's just I'm just kind of like, okay. And you guys, is there any? This is another thing I was talking to my husband about. Is there any more bombshells come in? I don't remember. I don't remember. Also, the one where they all wore the sexy outfits and came in, they should have split it up like they did last year with half the girls and half the guy, like the guys, all the guys and one girl, and then all the girls and one guy. There were too many people on that damn couch, okay? At first she annoyed me, then I grew to like her, especially since we have the same zodiac. I grew to like her because I was proud of her for always standing up for herself. One of my best friends is a lot like her, where she loves to yap and talk and just go off all the time. But to me, it's the heart, you know. And Amaya has a big heart. My best friend, she has a big heart, and she wouldn't hurt a friggin' fly. And same with Amaya. And I feel like that's the difference. Is that like she's loud, she's confident, and we shouldn't be dimming her light. Like that's the thing that I don't understand. Is like this girl is so lovable and kind and a great friend, obviously, and it's like they just want to like tear her down so badly. It's so creepy. I don't like it. I love Amaya, but she's too anxious and fast talking. Yeah, she is overwhelming. She is very overwhelming. She doesn't let people finish what they are saying. When you don't listen, you can't learn. Yeah. And I with Zach when they were talking, I'm kind of like, girl, let the man talk. Like, take a deep breath. Like, just let him talk. But again, she needs somebody like Huda and Chris. Like, Chris is clearly a person that Huda like communicates with a lot better. Amaya just needs to find her dude that's like, I hear you, but can I please speak first? Like, she just needs to find her guy that has the mojo that understands how to like conversate with her. I know in earlier seasons they would friendship packs to get them to win. I just don't understand why Austin is there. Oh my god. Seriously, I don't understand why Austin's there either. He should have been taken out by now. And then everybody's, losing their mind over a alleged like story that Sierra posted. And everybody's like, get her off the show, get her off the show. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're gonna get her off the show, then you gotta get Austin off the show. You should get TJ off the show, and you should probably get Elon off the show too, because they all have problematic things that they have said online and done online. Are you gonna get all of them off the show? At this rate, please do, because I'm like, I'm over it. Jalissa PCOS Queens. Yeah, I don't remember if they have another set of bombshells come in. I thought they did, but I could like after movie night, but I could be wrong. We don't need any more. You know what I'm saying? We don't need any more. We already have enough. We have enough people on this damn show. I'm over it. Let's start deleting some people. Yeah, I think I want to watch some previous seasons of Love Island. Especially the UK. Everybody loves the UK version. I'm like, okay, I think I need to go watch the UK version. I think I could go watch it. I just finished the new season of the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders documentary series. This season wasn't as good. I just felt like it was very choppy and chaotic. I didn't like it. So that was just me though. All right, final thoughts here. Okay, we've been on here for an hour. We've been doing real good, guys. I appreciate the commentary. I appreciate the conversation. Yeah, when she was arguing with Shelly, she wouldn't let her speak. I felt bad for Shelly at that moment. I felt she took her frustration out on the wrong person. Yeah, I think all the women are taking their frustrations out on the wrong people. They should be taking out their frustrations on the men. The men are ridiculous. Um, yeah, Austin's not a threat. Fire and flame. They voted Jeremiah out, remember, because Jeremiah was a threat to the Three Stooges. I agree with you. I agree with you. Little do they know, Austin's a hater. Haterade. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Okay. Final thoughts, guys. Here's the thing. I'm going to watch till the end because obviously I'm going to watch till the end. Duh. Okay. But I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm annoyed. Okay. And I just want to get through this season without like last night I literally had like a stomach ache because I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be so mean to Amaya. I fucking know it. And I did. They were, and I shed a little tear. I was like, why? I was like, I don't want to watch the women be mean to each other. I want to watch the men get annihilated. That's what I wanted to watch. We barely got that. Okay, we barely got that. It's very frustrating, but I'm going to keep watching till the very end. So keep watching my FaceTime updates every single day that I post that there are episodes so you guys can see what I'm up to and what I'm feeling about the episodes. Obviously go follow me on all social media stuff. Check everything out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. become a member if you aren't a member yet. I'm going to start doing members only videos. So you guys will see that soon. I'm trying to figure out how to do like members only watch videos. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So, I'm trying to figure out what I can, because I can't show anything. I can't record anything off of Peacock while recording myself. It'll just show a black screen. So I'm trying to find stuff that's on YouTube. So if you have any suggestions of shows that are on YouTube that I could screen record while I'm watching it to put on members onlys, I would love to get suggestions. So comment on the video some ideas. The reunion is going to be entertaining. That's even if they have one. You hated UK. I've heard so many people love UK. Not popular, but I want Huda and Chris, who remind me of Barry White. I would like Huda and Chris if Huda's gonna keep behaving this way. If she's gonna keep behaving this way, I would love to have her at the end. Um, I didn't. I voted Huda and Chris for these surveys that they just did. I did Huda and Chris because I just want to. I'm sorry. We need to put some people down a peg. Okay, we got to put some people down a peg. All right. All right, you guys. I love you. Subscribe, follow, do all the things. Share my lives. I really appreciate the support and the help. And again, become members. Become members because soon, hopefully by the end of July, the plan is to have rewatches of fun old shows that everybody watches. And I want to do the members only stuff of what you guys want. So please comment what you guys want to watch, what you guys want to see from me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye now. Bye bye. Bye.